Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So a lot of you guys have been asking me for my full review of the Essential phone, and well, it's time to give it to you. So first off, guys, who is this phone competing with? Or which phones is this phone actually competing with? It's competing with phones like the HTC U11, the iPhone 10, the iPhone 8 Plus, the Galaxy Note 8, the S8 Plus, all those phones in that realm that have like the latest processors and RAM and big batteries. That's what this phone is competing against. And how's it doing? I would say it's actually doing pretty decent. So starting with the hardware here, I'm going to go down my list of things for the review, and I'll keep this short and sweet for you. Normally I would do a list view of, and I would check off the things that I like and dislike about a phone, and I'm going to do it right now. So let's start with the design and build quality of the Essential phone. So first off, let me say that the Essential phone is by far the best piece of hardware that I actually have in the catalog. Now I do have a carbon fiber skin on here from SophieGuard, but I just did that for grip. If you take this off, this has a ceramic back and it has a titanium frame. Now keep in mind, this phone has been dropped. It's been in and out of a case, but predominantly it's been living outside of a case. I'm impressed. The build quality on this thing is by far better than any phone that I have here at this location in my catalog, and I have a lot of phones. So this is my number one for hardware, hands down. And what I mean is, the fact that it's titanium and ceramic, that's all great. But the feel of the phone, the way it feels in hand, the girth of it, the weight, it just feels premium compared to any other phone that I have. Now it just happened to be ceramic and titanium. Okay, yeah, that's great. But the look of it, the feel of it, everything about it, I just kind of like it. I really like it. I like the way the camera module sits flush. And then the magnetic pins here for the additional things you can add on. Very nice. Fingerprint readers in the right spot. I mean, this is a nice setup. I like how they kind of hid away the SIM tray on the sides. It's pretty clean. So hardware, definitely top notch. Now what about that screen? Now there's always controversy with a screen, but take a look at this screen. Ponder that for just a second. This is a beautiful screen. They do have this little chin down here, and then they have the little notch up there for the camera. After a while, I was like, wow, I was thinking this is probably gonna bother me, but it actually does not. I don't even notice this because it fills the wallpaper up like this. It is super nice. When you go into some apps, it fills it up. This is just top-notch screen right here. Now the resolution on the screen, on the other hand, is something else. The resolution on this phone is 1312 by 2560. So it's not technically a 2K display. It's right under 2K at 1312. And with that being said, my black Essential phone, it's kind of strange. With my black Essential phone, I was able to play 2K videos on it. Then I switched to this white one, and now I can only play 1080p. I don't know. So, in any event, the screen is gorgeous. There's a bottom firing speaker on here, and that is a loud bottom firing speaker. And that's all I have to say about that. I can't really tell you on camera or show you on camera because the microphone that I have is high powered. It's never going to be like it is in person, so I won't beat that horse down or try to ride that pony. Features and options on this phone, basically there are none. When it comes out of the box, it's less than stock. It has less apps installed on it than Pixel phones and Google Nexus devices. That's actually a good thing. That means I get a lot of memory out of the box. And I like that. I really like that. So with that being said, it might be a little too plain Jane for some people. I've heard people say, oh, I want my options. I want this, I want that. Well, you know that going into buying a phone like the Essential phone, you're pretty much getting a stock Android feel. So don't look for a lot of options. Oh yeah, I got split screen and basic things like that. But there aren't a lot of features on this phone. So don't look for them here. If you want a bare bones Android experience, this is where you need to be. The cameras on this phone are, well, they're decent. The front camera everybody kind of talked about the cameras. There were some software updates and things like that. Did they fix it? This phone has had probably about 4 or 5 updates, and they all help the phone in some kind of way or another. Me personally, when I first took the phone out of the box and used the cameras without the update, I thought it was pretty decent. It actually surprised me. I didn't really think that it was as bad as what some people said. There was even people saying, Jay, you're one of the few people on the internet that actually say this phone is good, and the entire internet says the phone is trash. I'm like, well, that's the entire internet. I'm me. I can only speak for me, and I can tell you, I like the cameras on this phone. Are they better than the current phones I'm using? Some, yes. A lot, no. But they're definitely doable, especially if you're outside. Low lighting, you might want to turn on the flash, but on the rear. But other than that, the cameras are doable. It's really good. Yeah, so I just don't have any complaints about the cameras because I set my expectations and they exceeded my expectations, because I did listen to a few people and say, hey, Jay, the cameras are horrible in here. Don't buy that trash. I'm like, all right, well, I'll make my own assessment of that. And I got to admit, the cameras on here are definitely doable. So with that being said, battery life on here is absolutely excellent. I mean, if you have this phone, you're going to get at least, okay, I can't tell you you're going to get it, but as a heavy user, I'm able to pull down 6 hours easy. And remember, the battery in this thing is 3040 milliamp hours. So it's right on par because the software is stock, and there's really, I got a bunch of apps on here, it just continues to run. This phone has 4 gigs of RAM, the Snapdragon 835. It's good. 128 gigs onboard storage, dual 13 megapixels at 1.9 on the rear. The front is at 8 megapixel and it shoots in 4K. It does everything the rear does: 1080p, 6 frames per second, 4K. It's good. The speakers on here, it says stereo speakers. I don't know. It says stereo speakers in some places, then it says stereo speakers and doesn't have stereo speakers in another. So I don't really care about that. The speakers sound good. Well, I was thinking about the speakers for a second there, sorry. But battery life, on par, no problems, just nothing. I don't have any issues with it. Overall performance of this thing, it's good. So the final thing is the price. This phone debuted at about $700, and I told you back then that I wanted it, but I wasn't paying $700, and I didn't. The first black one that I bought, I did pay I think $6. I think it was $5.99. I forgot what I paid. And this one I got it for even cheaper, more affordable, I should say, $4.99. And now, at the recording of this video, it's $4.50 at Best Buy. It's on sale probably for a week, so you might want to hurry. And there's also a Slick Deals thing I'll put in the description of this video as well, where you can actually get it for $3.99. So you do the math. This is a top tier phone. Top tier device, top tier phone. It is good, folks. I can't tell you, I shouldn't say things like don't believe the hype, what you hear some people say. But really what it is I think they just might be over exaggerating or reading too far in what the internet says. And that's where people go wrong. Some people get some hands-on time with the phone, or they buy it, but they've listened to what the internet says, so their mind is already swayed into thinking, yeah, the internet was right. The cameras suck. The phone is too bare bones. All those types of comments, man, I mean, that's how they feel. That's how they feel. The price is right on here. This is a top tier phone. It's got the latest flagship specs. It's good, folks. And I recommend it. It's your man, Jay Will. This is the Essential Phone Review. I think I've said all I could possibly say. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.